are blue enough. Tonight is special for you. You're gonna see that dream come true. Put on your red dress, you gotta look your best. Tonight he's waiting for you. He's gonna make that dream come true.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
I'm Shane.
And today we're talking about 1987's Aenigma.
For me, a successful year means making out with as many gorgeous boys as possible.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
What is it, knocker?
I don't know. Spooky got no real rhythm. We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love funny games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
It's for jacking off. Come on, just step on the gas before we get creamed. And more.
So guys, we're here talking about Aenigma, which Shane, you brought to the show for us. Go ahead and explain yourself. Why Aenigma?
We've needed Fulci on this show for a long time now.
Agreed.
And what better way to bring him on than with one that most people really haven't seen or heard of?
Yeah, everyone's seen The Beyond, which is horse shit. Not other
I love The
a whole lot of
Beyond.
other ones. Well,
For shame.
Man is starting with some hard takes. In
Yeah.
this
I'm
I'm
episode.
sorry. I
love it.
bought that movie as a collector's edition box set. It was a cold open. I mean, first watch, bought it. I'm like, oh, this is
Oh.
fucking awesome.
Oh.
I'm like, watching, like, this is shit. This
You know,
is,
have
I
you
was-
seen a Fulci movie before, though? Or is it...
Before that, no.
Oh, well, there
Really?
you go, Chris.
Yeah.
You didn't know what to expect.
No, my standards were high. I mean, I'd seen Evil Dead, all the the classics, and I see this, and I'm like, check my pulse. Am I still breathing? Am I awake?
You know, I'll always go back to it, guys. It's the Suspiria test.
Right.
If somebody says they like Suspiria, but then they don't know any other Italian horror movies, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So no, writer and director of this movie, Lucio Fulci. Guys, finally on the Grindbin. Shane,
There we go.
you've picked, and I have to say this, again, we're talking about Fulci's career and how many movies he's made that everybody knows about. This one, really, I'd say hidden gem. Spoilers for me, I absolutely love this movie.
Absolutely. This is
Okay.
awesome.
This is like Pieces level great to me.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe I'd never seen this movie before.
And
Or
I have a lot
really
to say
ever
about
heard
Pieces
of it.
later.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of connections. So,
Yes.
Man, you sound a little hesitant, so I can't wait to
It
hear
was
it.
okay. It was okay.
Oh!
Oh, boy.
But do you guys think that there was maybe something lost in translation when somebody had pitched him this movie?
Yes, a lot.
Somebody was like, well, Mr. Fulci, we really love your horror movies, and we would love it if you make a horror movie for us. And he goes, okay, make movie about horror. Okay, not about horror, but with horror elements, correct? Yes, horror movie. Okay, I think we're on the same page. I'll send the check.
They sent him the choices for wardrobe. Well, he sent his choices of wardrobe was nothing but lingerie.
Yeah.
Lingerie and that one sweater.
Yeah.
The St. Mary's.
I feel like at some part he's like, it's going to be scary, right? Okay.
We'll see.
So we're making a scary horror movie. Yes, scary horror. Okay. And what we got back was, man, it's almost like, hey, you got your Screwballs 2 script and my horror movie script. And that's what we get is one of the most bizarre mixing of genres I've seen yet.
Here comes the boy.
Yeah. I would say, and as we go through it, it's like early Fulci meets late Fulci. It's a really interesting dynamic. It was like he wanted to get back to what he used to do. Because he's written 66 movies, he's directed 60. He is probably most well known for his horror films, but he actually started by making comedies. And, in 1960, he made Howlers on the Dock. 1962, The Masseuses. And 1964, To Escape from Sing Sing, which is about two attendants in a public toilet in New York who saved the life of a mob boss, Anastasia. And then apparently Anastasia turns one of them into a boxer and kind of like becomes his, Mick from Rocky. And then
Classic Fulci.
yeah, and then makes the other into his right-hand man, her right-hand man. And then a gang war starts, and they're accused of murders and sentenced to death.
So at the beginning, were they sharing the toilet at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to back. Okay.
Well, and here's the thing. Apparently on execution day, they refuse to leave their cell even when they're proved innocent. And that's
That's a
as
fucking
you said,
dedication.
Shane, classic Fulci.
Yep. Is it one of those like airport situations, like foot under the stall, or like I don't understand the bathroom link.
I have no idea. It's a real enigma,
Yeah.
And so then in 1972, guys, he made a movie called The Eroticist. And man, does the description of this... Whew,
Does it star Peter Sellers?
it does not, sellers are porn, no.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but Senator Pupus feels a strong and uncontrollable urge to grab women's butts, a habit that can lead to embarrassment, especially if the woman in question is the head of another state. Uh-oh. So yeah, it's apparently about a president who grabs women's butts, and he grabs the butt of a head of state. So
Are you
it's like he
sure-
grabbed Angela Merkel's butt or something.
That's
So,
what our nation needs right now.
Was
yeah.
it filed under documentary for this current? or-
Yeah, when Trump grabbed Angela Merkel's butt. So you can see the type of movies he used to make, right?
Yeah.
And it makes more sense to me when you look at those, and it's like, yeah, we're getting later in his career after doing all these horror movies. He's like, I want to go back to what I used to do. After that, guys, he directed 2 White Fang movies, none that you've seen, just Italian White Fang, apparently.
Yeah.
And then probably the movie he's most well known for, which is probably 1979 Zombie, I'd say.
Was he responsible for Alien 2?
No.
Okay.
Well, not to my knowledge. I don't have that written down.
Okay.
But he made City of the Living Dead, The Black Cat, The Beyond, man's favorite,
Oh yeah.
The House by the Cemetery, New York Ripper, Manhattan Baby, Zombie 3.
To be fair, okay, I love the premise of the Beyond. I love the imagery. It's just painted as a picture and put it on my wall. I just don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
House by the Cemetery is my number one Fulci. I think that's
Okay, that's
Really?
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll back that, dude.
Not for
I'll
everyone,
totally
but I
back that.
love that fucking movie.
No, I think it's rad. I think it's
yeah.
rad.
And then, because he made this one in 1987, then he followed it up with Zombie 3, which infamously I think is like kind of like half Fulci, because there's 2 director credits on it, and I don't know actually how much of it he did. That's the one I'm not sure about. And then, he just followed it up in 1990. He still made 2 movies, Cat in the Brain and, how do you even pronounce it? Is it Demonia?
I'll
don't
say
know.
Demonia sounds cooler. I mean, there's that Misfit
Yeah.
song Demonomania, and maybe they got it from that.
Maybe. Well, it was made in 1990s.
Yeah, possibly. No, never mind. That was 80s, sorry. Fuck it.
Yeah. So, but this is definitely later Fulci, and it's just, he's going back to his roots, guys.
horned up
From
again.
what again?
They're only going to let him make horror movies, but he wants to, get a little comedy in there too, right?
Yeah.
Well, a couple of yucks.
Yeah, a couple of yucks.
Take a blue chew before you sit in the director's chair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're telling me The Beyond didn't have this type of stuff in it?
that slapstick part with the spider bit out the eye, I was howling.
Oh, God, I know. I mean, do you remember that part in Zombie where they had the whole thing where they're like, whose severed arm is this? And they're trying to fit it in the socket. It was great. So there was another screenwriter on this movie, Giorgio Maruzzo, who has 52 credits. Almost all are Italian titles I can't pronounce, and you're not going to hear me try. But he also shares a writing credit on The Beyond, Chris. So we're in good company.
Oh, good.
So we get into the cast, guys. Dr. Robert Anderson himself, or as I call him, Dr. D, Jared Martin.
I was calling him Dapper Doc.
Okay, so still Dr. D.
Yeah, exactly. He prescribes the D.
Yeah, definitely. 66 credits for acting, guys. He started his career in 1968, and he appeared in a few small movies and TV roles. His first movie was actually Brian De Palma's first movie, which is very interesting, is Murder a la Mode by Brian De Palma. It's on Something Strange Video. It's like his really, really early, I don't know, maybe like post-student film. But I didn't even know they existed. So not like I'm a big De Palma fan, but,
Well, speaking of
gotta
De
love
Palma,
Snake Eyes.
There is like some Carrie elements in this movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I can see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
So then 1973, he was in Westworld. He played the technician. So he's just one of the guys, probably. He appeared on episodes of $6 Million Man, How the West Was Won, The Fantastic Journey, Magnum P.I., and basically every show in the 70s. In 2016, though, he directed his one and only movie called The Congressman, starring Treat Williams. Nobody's heard of
treat
it?
it
Well,
is.
it's a real treat.
Yeah.
Treat, well, yeah, I was just trying to think of a joke there. Like, treat what?
That's actually what it said on the VHS cover. It's a treat.
Yep.
New York Times.
Treat yourself.
If I was a film reviewer in the time, that brief year when Treat Williams was in a movie, I would have written every review of a Treat Williams as, it's a treat, 1 star. Not even Treat Williams could say Deep Rising or whatever the fuck that was.
No, that had a
God
review
damn
of steaming pile of ... cinema exclamation point.
Some would consider it a discreet treat.
Discreet treat. Love it. That's what I'd say
Oh.
2016's The Congressman is, direct to
Yeah.
video, a little discreet treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that treat you find at the bottom of the Halloween bag, when you think you're
Exactly.
out. You're like, oh, there we go.
Yeah.
He's still acting. Huh. It's
That's fine,
2016 and treat's still around, huh?
It's that
Billy
payday that
Treat.
kind of has the wrapper really loose. You're not sure if you should eat it or not. But you're like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself.
Do it anyway.
It's like, I guess they're not making any more sequels to The Substitute. So, Laura Lamberti, who plays Eva Gordon. Guys, she only has 24 acting credits. It's all Italian stuff. But she was in 1983's Blade in the Dark, which is a Bava movie. And then, guys, she's in 1985's Red Sonja with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Brigitte Nielsen. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Red Sonja. Now, that might be Arnold's way to get on the bin, by the way, because
Oh,
that
boy.
movie...
Yeah.
Woof.
Let's do it.
And then I have, guys, the lady who played Jenny, Uli, oh gosh, I have to pronounce this. Uli Rententhaler plays Jenny. This and Zombie 3 are her only movies.
I did a double
Oh.
take. I saw the credits. I was hoping it said Uli Degard when I looked back at it. I was disappointed.
Ushi Degard.
I know. That's why I was like, I did a subconscious, plant in my mind that it was Ushi Degard.
Just
I'm like,
always looking out for Ushi.
which he appeared.
So she is like a 5-time Grindbin All-Star, Ushi Degard is, so, yeah.
Oh, he's doing 5 times of something over here. I'll tell you what.
A lot of search history, I see, huh? It's like you've searched it so much you can't clear it out of the database. Like it's
Yeah,
just,
my left hand can't go fast enough for that.
yeah. It's beyond what Chrome allows you to delete.
Right.
It's just default in the Google search bar.
Yeah. He puts in an A and it finishes Ushi Degard.
There's
so then
definitely some finishing going on.
the last person I have from the cast, guys. Oh, by the way, here's another thing. The lady who is Eva Gordon, right? Laura Lamberti. Guys, she's the niece of Klaus Kinski.
Klaus!
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. So she's got that going for her. And the last person I have written down is Milijana Zinarojevic, who plays...
I was waiting for you to pronounce that one.
Yep, she plays Kathy. She only has 6 credits. I don't think anybody's ever heard of. They're all Italian, and they're all kind of weird looking, so I didn't write any down. But there we go, guys. Enigma. You got anything else to add before we get into the movie?
Nope. Bobby,
I have some to add.
park the van.
I do
let's
own,
hear it.
I do own this movie, but I was lazy and I didn't want to get up out of my room, so I just watched it on YouTube. And the come on, and the video next up in recommendations was 1977's Tentacles. If you have
fuck that.
autoplay on, if you have autoplay on, you will have a double feature of Enigma and Tentacles.
Oh, my God. Now, let me guess, Shane. You just kind of left it on when the credits are rolling, and then all of a sudden you hear, dun, dun, dun. And you're like, no.
Oh, I was ready.
So in Man's opinion, if he watched it on YouTube, he'd be like, fucking figures. So no, maybe Grindbin All-Star, by the way, every voice in this movie, because it
Yes.
sounds like every voice from Blast Fighter. It seriously does. It sounds like Michael Sopkiew's character is the guy who does Dr. D, and the lady who does Michael Sopkiew's son in Blast Fighter, I'm pretty sure just does Eva's voice. It just sounds exactly the same. I'm like, yep, I think we're in good company.
Yeah, she's got a samey voice.
Yeah. So we're into the movie now. It starts out at the Overlook Hotel because we just see this
Yes.
black and white picture of a school, and it says St. Mary's of Boston.
And Jack Nicholson is in drag.
Now, it says it's a college, but in this photo and in this movie, there's only like 24 students in this
Yeah.
whole college.
Yeah, this is. Do you almost feel like they're in a mental institution? And they're like, yeah, you're in college, girls.
Yeah, when you see the interior, it very much looks like it's like some rundown sanitarium.
Yeah, you think these girls are getting wellness checks every hour.
Oh, absolutely. Chris, there is a part in this movie where Eva is sitting in front of a building, which I swear to God is the building from A Cure for Wellness. If you've
Oh,
ever seen that
shit.
movie.
I
I'm like,
know
that's
that.
the same sanitarium, man.
Jesus.
So, guys, we're in good company here with Pieces because we're back to Boston, Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Boston,
this
Italy
is...
this time.
Yeah, it's so weird how everybody is Italian in Boston. Mm-hmm. Boston, Mass.
Euro Boston.
How many times did they have to mention where they are in the movie, by the way? Like...
It's on everyone's shirt.
Is it just that Fulci forgot at some point? Like, when
Audience gonna forget.
yes, we're in Boston. You need to remember. Needs to be seen where you walk downstairs and say, I'm from Boston.
You enjoy eating clam? I do too.
But why Boston? What is it about, like, these, like, the Europeans that they're like, we're going to make a movie in America, and it's going to be based in Boston?
I think it's just like a cultural fascination thing.
Really?
Maybe it's
Like
because all the
Boston?
colleges, like,
Yeah,
with
I
this
think
and
that's a
Pieces, it's
good
all
point.
about college.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what they do. They put college into Google, which there was no Google back then. So they go college in the dictionary, and they go Harvard, Boston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just think that's where all the colleges in America are.
Yeah, that's where we all go.
Yeah.
I met Mike in Boston in college. in
Yeah,
junior
we all got to
college.
take our sabbatical to Boston for our college years.
If you guys want to hear something crazy, I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for Boston colleges because my parents met when they were in two separate colleges in the Boston area.
Oh, here we go. Pieces situation.
There you
Oh my
go.
God. So your dad went to Pieces University. Your mom went to St. Mary's.
Yes,
They
exactly.
met up, and now there's a Shane.
Yeah, came back to Pittsburgh. There we go.
The problem was, I mean, after your mom bit off his nipples, that's a different story.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about that.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up old wounds.
That's definitely a weird family story time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Let me tell you where you came from, Shane. It
Holidays
was
are
a
interesting.
wild night.
The green and red strobe lights.
Dad, where'd you get that scar? Well, let me tell you, son. Okay, so we're at St. Mary's of Boston, or like the picture from the Overlook Hotel, which you know that if you just panned over, you're going to see Jack in the next one, right?
Right. Oh, definitely.
I almost wrote it's like when a sandwich shop kind of sponsors a local sports team. You know, like you go into the local hoagie shop and you see like, it's this kid's soccer team, right? I felt like maybe the Overlook sponsored this school, you know, like this girl's school. And they hung up this picture of the local sandwich shop. That's what it just seemed like to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's Boston, Italy, not Boston, Spain, right?
Yeah.
And these girls are just giggling around their dorm, right? And while probably the greatest song in a Grindbin movie plays, which
Oh,
we
thank
definitely
God.
open the episode with.
It's getting me in the mood.
I was like, is this Beach Girls or something?
Strange, like, crown type music.
Wouldn't it be nice to wig?
You know, Chris, by the way, that has got to be what they wanted with that crown
Oh,
song
yeah.
we love so much. He's like,
Yeah.
no, it's like that one song, you know, like, wouldn't it be nice? You make it like that? Yeah, sure.
That's next, Mike. The Wouldn't It Be Nice project. We have the Centerfield project. That's fucking next.
Actually, Chris, if you listen to the show, which you don't, in the McBain episode, we established our new Put Me in Coach center field song was I've Had the Time of My Life. From
Yeah.
It's now the new song. So.
That's right, everybody. Long-time host, first-time listener.
Yes. Chris has never heard Shane's voice. He came on the show before we started recording. He goes, who the fuck's that?
I'm like,
I'm so
are,
hurt.
are you lost?
And I gotta say, Shane has told me, he said, like, oh man, I would love to be able to, and he said this on episodes too. He said, I'd love to be able to record an episode with Chris Mann.
I was like, oh boy, I just want to meet him.
I said, don't
Said
we
no
all?
one ever.
Yeah. It was my one dream.
Yeah.
And then he tells me he hates the Beyond, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, and by
I
the way,
don't
Chris,
hate it. I don't hate it. I abhor it.
you should be more kind to him because Shane is actually our Make-A-Wish, Chris.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be here for long.
I'm
so.
not. How is I'm not unkind to him. I just don't like the same movie. That's all. That's not like saying I'm gonna.
I have that same thing Eva has, where I throw clothes at people.
And you gyrate against dressers. And
Yeah.
So right now, guys.
Didn't watch the movie.
Yeah.
I get friendly with my doctors too.
All right, Chris, just because you randomly paused in multiple parts of the
Yeah.
movie to
Yeah.
write down.
First, middle,
that
and
went
credits.
You know, Chris, most of us don't watch the movie in 20 minutes and just go 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. All right, I got it. You hitting the act breaks, right?
That's how Ben Affleck reads his scripts. We all know.
Yeah, he just hit the act breaks on the latest Batman. And he's like, yeah, it seems good. So then, okay, these girls are just giggling around the door, right? They're making some girl trial lingerie, and there's just this great music going on. Then they put a dress on her, right? And this girl's name is Kathy, right? And they're getting her ready for like a nice big date, guys. Like she's ready to go.
We got to mention the gold and blue eye paint.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Something about this is very like Egyptian and Greek ritual in a way. No one gets ready
Yeah.
for a fucking date like this shit. I mean,
Yeah,
am I
like how
wrong?
the Egyptians used to dance around and put lingerie and get ready for a big date.
There's
Was that
just
what they were known?
something, yeah, well, there's just something ritualistic about it.
Oh.
I
She's
don't know,
standing
it
so
was-
still. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that explains the sarcophagus in the room.
That's why I thought Egyptian. It's like, are they mummifying her later?
That's how the night ends, man. I think that's how King Tut went out.
Yeah. It's like, okay, guys, this isn't funny anymore.
Yeah, King Tut famously went on a big date and made out with a girl, and then everybody laughed and wrapped him in mummy tape.
They're like, oh, is this face going to be red tomorrow, boys?
Yeah. And then, everybody wakes up the next day like, hey, where's Tut?
Well, they're all too hungover to remember what they did.
You guys have
They all
seen
blacked
hieroglyphics, right? Those are all just. If you decipher them, they're all highlighting different pranks. It's like
Oh, okay.
Jackass in those pyramids.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like dick drawings and hieroglyphics on his face.
Oh yeah.
I would just love the idea of all hieroglyphics were just like Jack.
Oh yeah, like man with a hawk's head, snake, river. That means like puts someone's hand in water to watch them piss.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that explains that.
The original Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
So
Egyptians.
they're getting her ready for their big date, right? And then Kathy, she's in the car with this guy named Fred, right? And she's a little down because he promised her dancing, but it's ended up just being in the car. And he makes the first move, and then she's like,
yeah.
"Oh, never mind. I didn't want to dance. I wanted to make out."
Yeah,
And they just
promised the pants dance.
Oh yeah, you're right, Chris. She wanted the pants dance.
Yeah.
And so they start
She's-
making out.
She's very chatty when she's horny.
Oh yeah. She never. It's kind of funny how when she kisses, she can still VO. So the ADR game is still strong.
Well, some women, it's a skill. Believe me.
Because, her mouth's closed, but I still hear her going, oh, yes, I love it. Yes, yes. So she's all about it. Fred and her, they're getting busy. And then all of a sudden we start panning around the scene, guys. And there's all these other cars here. And somehow they can hear what's going on in the car. As if Lucio Fulci's never seen a car radio and knows how it works. Or like, has he only been to the drive-in? Like, does he not understand that, like, car radios are not two-way? Because, like, it looks like she flips on the car radio and then everybody can hear what she's saying. I'm like, I don't think those have microphones.
I thought there
That's
was like a
what I thought, too.
walkie-talkie that they panned over to. It looked like a walkie-talkie.
Oh. Those Fiats, man.
Yeah.
Those Volvos.
So apparently everybody has a walkie-talkie, or the walkie-talkie is just, you could talk on the radio with it.
And for some reason, the frequency reaches all car radios. Yeah.
Yeah, every car in the county, in Boston, Boston County. So yeah, all these people are like watching in their cars and they're giggling about. They're like, and then they turn their brights on, and this just becomes Carrie all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Is that everybody
Yeah.
just starts kind of laughing at her, and they're like, ha 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 ha, and then it pans over, and fucking Fred's laughing at her too.
Fuck,
That's like a
man.
maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just like, she's so ugly, I'd never make out with her.
I was like, is it really that funny?
What?
Like 30 college kids made an evening of this. This
Yeah.
is their weekend.
And the setup for this is amazing, by the way. There's all these cars hidden in a giant circle, right? So it's like, did they not notice the other cars when they're driving up? Or it was just so weird to me.
Well, what's weird is that all of them are not even drinking anything. There's not a beer bottle or alcoholic beverage to be found, which is not believable in the slightest.
Chris, they're drinking in the humor of the situation.
Right.
Right?
That's how we do in
drinking it
Boston.
all in.
This is a real thing where it's like, kids, you know what? You can play a mean prank on a girl, but you don't need to drink to have fun.
Well,
And so these college kids suck. Because then they start chasing her with the car, and they're laughing, and they're like, I hope you fucking die, Kathy.
Well,
well,
Yeah, Shane. So, well,
Well, she runs out into the street, and yeah, she gets hit by a car.
whoops. She has now changed her name, guys. In my notes, Kathy has now become Kathy Coma.
Como with a K.
Yeah, she is now in a coma for the rest of the movie. Kathy Coma. She's in very rough shape. She's now on an assisted breathing tube and everything, and the thing is, like, the nurse sits there and watches her. There's multiple scenes in this movie in the darkest hospital I've ever seen. It's like they can only afford one light in each room.
Yeah.
The nurse just watches as her vitals just flatline, and she's just like, what do I do in this situation?
Oh, she's like a first week intern.
Yeah, because she's just confused. She looks confused, almost like, either that or I thought it was another prank. I'm like, they're taking this real far, man.
God, those Bostonians.
Yeah, infamous for their pranks.
Yes.
So then, yeah, her vitals go flatlined, and then the nurse just goes, "What do I do?" And she's like, pulls out the instruction book. Oh, yeah, that's right. Call the doctor. And so she calls him, and she's like, "Yeah, I think something's wrong." And so then Dr. D runs in, and he just also, I don't think. Did they not know how the heart paddles work in Italy, or?
Yeah, that's what I wrote. It's like, what is he doing with those defibrillators?
Those are they use them to flatten lasagna. So they're not used to how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, 'cause
That's what
Chris-
Mike tells me.
He just, yeah, I use defibrillators at my home to flatten lasagnas all the time.
Yeah.
That's also how I make the pizza dough.
See, Italian, everybody.
Yep. And so, yeah, because he just takes the defibrillators and he puts it on their chest, and he's like, "Do I just shake it, or how did these work?"
He's kind of rubbing it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's just kind of lightly doing it, and then it's like, "I don't think it's working, doctor. She's dead. She's dead." And they're like, "Oh, fuck it. Oh, well." The thing is, she's not dead. She's in a coma, yet we saw her flatline. So I don't
Yeah.
really know what's going on, but she's alive, everybody, so don't
They
worry.
say she's brain dead, but like I think Fulci interprets that as not having a heartbeat.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
He's like, and then she a flatline. They're like, well, she's dead, right? No, brain dead. I don't think you know what that means, Mr. Fulci. So the cars pull up. A car pulls up to St. Mary's, and the new girl, Ava's here, right? And wouldn't you know it, she just starts jump cutting into being Kathy Coma right away.
Mhm.
It's like Fulci was almost like, audience too dumb to understand who she is. It's like, no, we get it. Because immediately within 1 second, it's like, hey guys, guess what? It's the same girl.
Yeah, and that it's so fucking annoying that he has to like do the jump cut 5 times, like in
Yeah.
case nobody gets it. Guess
It's
you
like,
blinked.
We fucking get it. And if you
I
don't
was
get it,
like-
if you don't get it within this scene, you'll get it within the next 10 where he keeps
Yeah.
doing it. You know,
And they don't match up. Like they're half a step. I'm like, they're like like 2 steps to half a step and a half away. It's like fucking get the shot right, dude. Fuck.
Chris, they didn't know how a defibrillator worked. You think they know an editing machine? Actually, Fulci was just kind of putting the defibrillator on the editing machine. That's how he's cutting the movie.
Well, the thing is, like Eva, they say she's from like, you know, one of Boston's most important families.
Yeah.
We never see her family. She's already possessed when we meet her.
Yeah.
And we never see her mother. I don't know, is Eva really like a creation of Kathy?
Yeah, it's
Or
a
what?
missing
She
scene where
can't be a-
she's materializing from some ether.
There's definitely a lot of like missing plots. Like I noticed
Yeah.
there's some
This is the jump.
Actually, Chris might be right, because I just totally skipped over it. It's like after Kathy has her coma thing where she goes brain dead, there is like 5 minutes where it just does like a,
She's like, I don't want to die. I don't want to
Yeah.
be dead. I don't
Yeah.
want, I want to live. And
and there's
like
just
a
random
voiceover.
footage. Yeah, it
Yeah.
becomes like a David Lynch movie. Like you're watching that weird episode of Twin Peaks or something. You're like, I think this is going to go somewhere. And then Eva just kind of pops up. So you might be right, Chris, as that was like a real artistic, she somehow manifests herself.
I think so, because we have that whole flyover segment.
Yeah.
With the
Otherwise,
narration.
why did we have that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As someone who doesn't watch the movie, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh boy.
Okay, he clearly watched the first 20 minutes. He'll fall off. Everybody just pay attention as Chris falls off.
We're taking bets, everybody. $5 on the Patreon. I fall off after 30 minutes.
Chris, Jason Bateman wasn't in this, okay?
If he starts saying about how Bateman's in a band again.
At least I watched a movie. It might not have been the
That's
right
true.
movie, but I watched a movie.
Well, when I said Enigma, thank God you didn't watch the 2016 movie about modern art that was made called Enigma.
Like, Mike, this is a real highbrow film to us.
I like this new direction.
Shane really knows how to pick them.
Such refinements.
So here's the thing, is that the headmistress explains to the audience, she goes, it's not often that we allow somebody to enroll in the middle of the school year, especially somebody that's had some sort of mental breakdown. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, so we need a background on her. So apparently she had a mental breakdown at some point. Is that our exposition we're getting for her?
Well, I think it's clear, Chris, because as we know today in the news that, celebrities could just bribe people to get into schools. She's the daughter of a local celebrity.
Yeah.
This is like Larry Bird's daughter or something.
Yeah.
And he
This is Ben
somehow
Affleck's niece.
bribed... Yeah, he bribed to get her into St. Mary's or whatever in the middle of the school year, even though she had a mental breakdown.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, in the middle of the night, you're right. And she goes, by the way, here's your new roommate, Jennifer.
Oh.
And then Shane, she really lays the groundwork for why she's being enrolled in the school, which makes me, again, kind of suspect that she might be the child of a celebrity. Because, Shane, why is Eva at school?
Well, for Eva, a successful year for her constitutes making out with as many gorgeous boys as possible.
Hi, I'm Eva. What's your first name? Jennifer. Okay, Jenny. Let's get one thing straight. For me, a successful year means making out with as many gorgeous boys as possible.
That was my successful year in the Boy Scouts.
Chris said that in his tent to his stepmate. And he's like, boys...
Do I get a badge for this?
Yeah. Chris, was that your way to get out of the Boy Scouts? Because back when you were in, they would kick out anybody who was gay.
Right, yeah. I raised a rainbow flag above my tent.
That was like your draft deferment. Oh, God. So, yeah, she says, she's going to make out with a lot of boys. And this is what I wrote. I've mentioned it many times before, but I feel like in another world we would pull out, and this is Bobby from the Vans Mulholland Drive. Like that he's just sitting on his couch crying while masturbating, and this is the movie he's thinking of. That, or he turned this in for his book report, or for his project. Like he went to screenwriting class, and this was his script. There's a girl, and she comes to the school, and she's real horny.
And then she smokes a joint.
Yeah, and then what, Bobby? I don't know. People die.
And they do it.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to need a second act.
That is first and second act.
You know what? That's it. They said, all right, class, we're going to write a horror movie.
And Fulci raised his hand.
Yeah. And this is what Bobby turned in. He goes, oh, I wasn't clear on the spelling.
More than just hands were raised.
Guys, so you know what? We haven't had this a long time in a Grindbin movie, but I was happy to see it come back. Guys, aerobics time.
Thank God.
Right? There's always like some weird dance thing in Italian films.
I almost felt like, Chris, if we had panned over, we would have seen Crispin Glover and Matt Lattanzi putting their faces on the window, fogging it up and everything,
I'm going to hit the ceiling tonight.
So then we see the instructor, who is Fred, from the beginning of the movie, right? Mm-hmm. Make out Fred. He goes, he teaches the class. So apparently he's a teacher at this university. And he's saying stuff like, come on, ladies, you don't want to get the fat get in the way when you're kissing your boyfriend later. Yeah.
They pay for this.
And then I do love this one girl says,
you know what, fat? You don't want it getting in the way when you kiss your boyfriends later tonight. Do you?
Something better get in the way when I kiss Tom, or he'd get out of control.
Oh, that's
And I write, when do we pan over and say the girl who says there's nothing better than getting high and having sex on a waterbed? Because this is just straight up pieces at this point, right?
Or the girl that says there's nothing like this. What's the sound
the girl that says that. Yeah. That's when you knew Bobby actually wrote this movie.
Yeah. There's nothing like the sound of a zipper coming down, as she says.
I just see in screenwriting class, they're like, okay, Bobby, so what are the girls' characteristics? They're horny. Yeah, I get that, but we got, a little bit more. Let's flesh out the characters. They'd like to see flesh. Okay. So the class ends, by the way, guys, with Tom slapping girls on the butt. So just
Oh, yeah.
a little good job. Or I'm sorry,
is my-
Fred. Yeah.
You merkled her.
This is my absolute favorite line from the movie. He slaps the girl's ass, and she says,
I may have a fat ass, but if you slap it again, I'll slap your face.
it's the most awkward God. I think about this line constantly since I watched this movie like last year. That's just always in my head.
I mean, how much of this was pure just American ADR? Like, it had to be, right? Like, this is a totally different movie in Italy.
Yeah.
It seems like. And he plays it. She's like, yeah, don't do that. And he's like, you could tell he just does it to everybody every day.
Oh, yeah.
But Boston rules, I guess. And then, because she said no, he just immediately goes and makes a move on Eva. And he comes over. He lays it on thick, but you know what? She's still down.
Oh,
she is
yeah.
not intimidated. She's like, yeah, let's do it right fucking now. Mm-hmm. And then, this is when I write my notes. I go, Eva is basically Jeannie from the Cheerleaders.
Right?
Yeah.
She
Fuck.
wants it all, and she wants it now.
Right.
She's Jeannie from the Cheerleaders, but like successful.
Yes. Yeah, she is extremely successful.
Yeah.
And that's when another girl comes over. She goes, are you really into older men? And she goes, Eva says, let's put it like this.
So you really prefer older men like Mr. Vernon? Let's put it like this. Anything in pants.
And that's when the teacher goes,
God.
Bobby, I can't flip to the next page because for some reason they're stuck together. So I don't know. Is this glue or?
You know who would be the mascot from the cheerleaders in this film is the custodian. She's like, when is it my turn?
Yeah, you see this movie is written by Bobby from the van and the custodian from the cheerleaders. This is their group project.
Yeah.
And he had DeVito read it. And he's like, DeVito, what do you think? He goes, Bobby, I couldn't even make it past page 10. So good. It's great, Bobby.
I was busy making phone calls to every agent.
And so this is where it gets even worse, is because Eva is so damn horned up that she just starts, like, faking an orgasm right in the middle of the dance studio in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. She's just like, oh, yes, yes. And then Fred comes over. He's like, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. And she's like, oh, I pulled my hamstring. Can you massage me? And then instead of becoming a porno, we just get Italian zooms with a creepy music sting.
Yep.
It's
Because
fantastic.
this is when Fulci was like, oh, that's right. Scary movie. So then Eva's getting dressed and Jenny's helping her, right? And she's... This is when Jenny's just like, Eva, are you okay? Because she's absolutely insane, right? And she's like... Jenny goes, so you're really going to meet Fred? Because, like, he's a real dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She's
Eva's
like, that's exactly what I want.
Yep, that's exactly. She goes, Fred's kind of dangerous. In fact, like, you should have seen the girl who used to live in this room, man. Woof, what he did to her. And she's like, I don't care. And she's just going on and on. She's like, Eva's not going to get no.
Eva gotta have it.
And Eva's about to leave, right? And Jenny even goes, just one more time, she goes, he's very unhealthy to be around. He has a very unhealthy reputation. It's almost like she's warning about, like, STDs at this point. She's like, do I have to just make it any more clear? It's gonna burn. And Eva just turns around and she goes, I also have a very unhealthy reputation.
She says something about Fred has the Incredible Hulk, like, on his door or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what do they mean by that? They said, like, maybe he has a post.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into it. And by the way, when she says Incredible Hulk, she means Lou Ferrigno. Mm-hmm. Because the amount of, like, American actors that make cameos in this movie.
We got Tom Cruise. Yeah. We got Stallone.
Oh, my God. Don't ruin it, Chris.
Well, I just want to let people know I watched the movie.
So then Jenny tries to warn... Yeah, she warns her one time. Eva goes. She's like, Eva gotta have it, as Chris says. Then we cut to one of maybe my favorite moments in this movie is when Fred's posing to himself in a dark room in a mirror. He's still in the dance studio, which I assume he lives here.
I said it was Fred in a black void because all the lights are off. So it's like, what is going on?
What I love this is, like, he's doing his Hulk Hogan impression in front of the mirror, because he's doing, like, the bend down and the pose and everything. Ooh, Fred must pose. He's trying to pose, but then this creepy lady is, like, scrubbing the floor behind him in the dark.
Yeah, she's the one going, when is it my turn?
Yes! Her name is Creepy Mary, okay?
Yeah.
That's the character's name. She's just sitting in the dark gym, mopping the floor with a sponge, right? Or not even with a sponge, with like a t-shirt. And he goes, Mary, what the hell are you doing in here? Get out of here. Get out of here. And he like takes her and he throws her out of the room. He's like, you forgot your damn bucket. And then he just does more posing. And that's when creepy Mary looks around the corner with red eyes.
She's
and
a
Fred
Terminator.
looks at his and Shane, Fred looks at his reflection in the mirror.
Fred looks to himself in the mirror and things turn green and his jaw starts cracking. A crazy Fred crashes through and starts strangling himself.
Well, when you say crashes through, I mean he walks into a giant sheet of cellophane, plastic wrap.
All right,
with,
Chris.
Some shadows and light, and
Mr. Fulci, do you want me to get the breakaway glass? No, saran wrap. Okay. So yeah, he gets strangled by his own reflection. And then we cut to the hospital, and Coma Kathy is still in the hospital, and she's okay. So basically, what happens is that every time somebody at the school dies, her brain has an orgasm.
yeah,
It's very weird,
Basically.
because even the rest of the doctors, the nurse, and everybody come in, they go, "This is weird," and then they go, "Well, I don't know," and then everybody leaves, and then the nurse just sits down and she goes, "I'm afraid," and then she just sits there and watches her. It's like, okay. So then we go to Eva. She's meeting the girls for lunch, right? And she says, yeah, I went to go visit Fred, but he wouldn't open the fucking door. I couldn't even get that D. And she's all pissed about it. And the other girls are like, that's just what Fred always does. So his trademark is that he goes, yeah, come to my room. And then he just locks the door and doesn't answer it. Like, what the...
Another thing, this like lunchroom, this is just a restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just straight up a restaurant.
And I love that they just film a lot of scenes in here, and you could tell they were the same day. Because they didn't change a damn thing.
They're sitting in the same spots.
yeah.
And, you know, it's like they always serve the same meal. It's really weird.
Yeah, snails.
And, by the way, do you think that when Bobby was writing this script for class that he wanted to play the character of Fred or Dr. D? That was the big thing. He's like, I don't know if I'm more of a Fred or a Dr.
Oh, Mike,
D.
you know he played both with different wigs.
He wanted to be the Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor. In this movie.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a real Bobby's Clumps, I guess.
Yes. The Hamptons.
So then Eva's hanging out with the girls in her dorm room, right? And they're all talking about how Fred always stands up girls by locking the doors, but he is really the hunkiest hunk in all of Hunksville, is what they're saying. You know, it's like, man, that's when I really thought it was Bobby playing this character. Because even when Fred's not on screen and even when he's dead, they're like, yeah, but man, is he a hunk, am I right? And they're like, yeah, shame to lose all that grade A meat. And then everybody gets mad at Eva because she... Like, one girl goes, oh, do you have a lighter? And then Eva goes, sure. And she just reaches into a drawer and gets a lighter. And like, how would you know there was a lighter at that bedside table? And I was like...
Ooh, the plot thickens.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know, because that's where you usually keep things like that. I mean,
That's true.
Yeah, she even says that, and they're still like, they're still so creeped out by it. It's like,
yeah,
why?
she says some weird ADR line. She goes, doesn't everybody keep a lighter at that bedside table? I'm like, well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So then the girls start smoking weed, right? Another little Bobby note. They got to smoke the weed.
Yes.
Then we learn that Coma Kathy is apparently the daughter of Crazy Mary, the janitor lady, right?
The Terminator.
Yes. And so then this is where it's like, man, people really don't like Kathy because even though she's currently in a vegetative state in the hospital, they're still making fun of her.
I just wrote down they're so fucking mean. It's like almost disturbing.
Yeah, this girl's in a coma, and they go, yeah, her and her greasy hair and a garlic breath. It's like, Jesus.
They throw around the word retard so much. It's
It's like every character had to have a go at it, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody's got to say the word at least once. And so then, they're going on about her garlic breath and everything. And then the girls hear a strange noise, and they come out into the main room. I don't know if you guys like this part, but I absolutely love this part, is the explanation of it. They go out of the main room of the school because there's some sort of creepy sound. And it sounds like the devil, right? And one of the girls turns to Eva and she's like, yeah, it's like this every Friday night. I'm like, what? The demons have a kegger every Friday night? Like, what?
Here's the crazy part. Now, I've always described this movie as like Carrie meets Suspiria, except they didn't finish the Suspiria part because the girl says that all the teachers like meet together in a room they can't see, which is literally the ending to Suspiria.
Right?
And then it zooms
is.
up to like the picture of an old woman, like, the old woman in the lair in Suspiria. But the old woman looks like Mrs. Doubtfire, and she's in all the rooms.
That's so fucking true.
Yeah. we never get an explanation on that, even though like it zooms in and shows this creepy
Hey man,
lady.
same universe, shared universe.
Oh my god. So do you think though when Argento was on set one day, maybe he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Fulci's like, "What do you mean? I've already made this movie, Fulci. What the fuck?"
Stephen King gets there too.
yeah. Stephen King gets there with a lawyer and a copy of Carrie.
And he's still on coke at this point, I think.
Yeah, he's all sweating.
And so that's why they had to cut out the demon dog at one point, because Cujo was going to make a cameo.
I misheard you. I thought you said demon dong.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what it became.
Right.
So no, yeah.
That's the Danzig version.
There's that weird thing where it does that zoom into the creepy mural of Mrs. Doubtfire. And then that's when one of the girls mentions, she goes, "This happens every Friday night. Every Friday night, the demons party." Mm-hmm. So then the next day, the cops are here to help with dead Fred, right? And I love this, absolutely fucking love this cop, and I wish that he was in the movie more, because he's a real Christopher George from Pieces, right? Because Shane, he looks at the guy and he goes,
"You know, these macho types never know when to stop. It was the same with the man who invented jogging. They overdo it and the heart gives out. It always happens when they least expect it." And the cause of his death? Heart attack.
And I write, "This dude was strangled."
Yeah, strangulation marks are the telltale sign of a heart attack.
And I just love the idea of, like, maybe this cop just goes around and goes, boom, heart attack. And they're like, "Do you want to wait for the coroner, sir?" Or, "Nope, heart attack." Okay. I mean, he's got a bullet wound, but heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to have that Trump idea that, like, you know, every human body is like a battery. You exercise too much, you go out.
I was going to say.
Just went out. The ticket went out.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing is, you know the guy writing notes looking all worried in this scene?
Oh, yeah.
Guys, that's Fulci.
What?
Holy shit.
Yes, he makes a cameo in this movie as the guy writing notes while the guy goes, boom, heart attack.
Regular Hitchcock.
Yeah. Hitchcock, you hack.
Yeah, he was writing the script. In real time, we saw him writing the script.
He was handing them off to the actors as they were about to say their line. It's like, quick.
Yeah, he didn't finish the scene, and that's why the cop's just writing down whatever he's writing at record speed on that notepad.
Oh, I'm out of ink. Oh, no.
Oh, heart attack. So then in the class, the girls are spreading the word about Fred dying. So, like, they're all sitting in class and go, "Cheer, Fred died, Fred died, Fred died, Fred died." And then one girl just can't take it. She goes, "Ah!" in the middle of class, right? The teacher goes, "What the hell? What is wrong?"
He had the biggest dick.
It's basically what she says. Yeah, she stands up. She goes, "We just heard that Fred died, and he had a big dick." And the teacher goes, "I know. We all know. We all know." We've all sat outside that locked door at night, ladies, wanting to go in.
But ladies, have you heard of rigor mortis? You might have one last shot.
Get down to the morgue. Field trip.
It's like a human diving board down there.
And I love this. All while these girls are freaking out, you just pan over Eva. She don't give a shit. She's like, whatever. On to the next one. Plenty of dick at this school. Am I right? Of course, there's not, because he was the only male teacher. And apparently, now what you're saying, was it Shane that you were saying this might not be a college?
Yeah, it might just be a place for crazy girls.
Okay, because I was saying, if this was established as a high school, we are getting into very problematic territory.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Yes.
No.
Where the only male teacher in a all-girl school is sleeping with every girl.
Oh, God.
Yikes. So never mind, it's mealtime. We're back to the same restaurant. They're eating the same meal, which is surprising. And one girl's crying about dead Fred and how it's all Kathy's fault. Like, even though she's in a coma, they're like, yeah, that bitch, she's in a coma. It's still her fault that Fred died, though. Yeah. And then Creepy Mary just shows up in the middle of the scene and shoves a plate full of snails in her face. This is amazing. Is that she just shoves a big platter of, like, lettuce with a few snails on it in her face. She goes, "Oh, my God, I'm not going to eat this shit." And then Eva goes on, she goes, "Oh, I love snails because I'm from New Orleans." And I'm like, I know people from New Orleans.
I've never had snails in New Orleans, nor has it been, like, offered as a delicacy. Like, try come more local, flavor. Snail is not the top word off the tip of their tongue.
Just because they speak some French down there and there's French names and it was French occupied doesn't mean they currently love snails.
You mean you haven't had a snail beignet?
Yeah. The old delicacy down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So then the other girl mentioned, she goes, You know, Kathy was also from New Orleans. Maybe that's why she smelled like garlic all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
We cook them with lots of garlic, like the French.
Yeah, guess that's why Kathy always stunk of garlic. She's from New Orleans, too. She must have eaten these by the ton.
So then later on, Eva and this jerk girl are laying in a field, right? Oh, I think this is Grace, right? Is this Grace?
No, this
that she's
is,
hanging out with? Okay, is this Kelly or
face?
something like that? I just call her jerk girl.
Yeah, she's the one whose boyfriend is Tom.
Yeah, she used to be Kathy's roommate.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one helping her get dressed before the big night and laughing out the car window at her as she got hit by a car. So this jerk girl's laying on the field and she's like, "Hey, Eva, did you say you were from New Orleans? I thought you're from Boston." And she goes, "Yeah, I'm from Boston. I never said I was from New Orleans." She goes, "Are you sure? Because I just saw a scene in the movie like 1 minute ago that said you were from New Orleans and you like snails and everything." She goes, "Nope."
This would have made sense if like a few scenes were in between, but it's like after another, like I'm from New Orleans. Like, no, I'm from Boston.
Yeah,
it's like why not just like wait till later?
And then she goes, "Oh, I had a grandma from New Orleans and I spent some time there, but I'm from Boston." And then she's like, "All right, whatever. Tom's here, so fuck this." And then she goes and has a little hug with him, and Eva has some creepy moment where she stares, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's like they're trying to cast doubt on the fact that she's possessed, but we were introduced to her like being totally possessed.
Literally,
before we even knew her as a character, she was possessed.
First scene is her getting. The first scene is like, "Do you understand? She also is Kathy." "Yes, we know, Fulci."
And
you
now
mean
they're
it's a
trying
half
to be like,
hour in,
"Ooh,
people aren't
but-"
going, "Oh, I get it."
That's like if some guy said, "I'm the killer" in the beginning of a movie,
Yeah.
and then he's like, "But well, maybe not." It's like, no. So then we cut to some girl. I love this part is that there's some girl sneaking through the dorm in the day. And I'm like, it's the day and you live here. Like, what are you sneaking for? What the fuck's going on? And apparently she's sneaking around because everybody's terrified of Creepy Mary. Because she sees her, like, cleaning. She goes, "Oh." Either that or maybe she's like, I don't want to get in the conversation with her because she's going to start talking about her dead daughter again.
Yeah.
And it's really going to slip. I'm either going to say the R word or I'm going to slip out something about garlic. And so she's all kind of like, about it. So this girl, guys, we're going to call her Snail Girl from now on. Because she goes into her room, Shane, and what is in there?
Lying on her bed is just a fuck ton of snails.
Yeah.
Just a lot of them.
She like runs out and she gets the faculty lady and she's like, "It's all that crazy Mary lady. She loves these snails. She's from New Orleans. Those fucking snail people."
Oh, meanwhile, in France, everyone's like, "Dude, that's a fucking night out for me right there."
Yeah,
you know
guy
how
from
people
France.
you know how people from New Orleans just have tons of snails on them all the time? They just easy access to snails.
Pocket snails, yeah.
They
A
can
good
hook you
snack.
up.
And so she's like, "Yeah, she loves her fucking snails, that fucking garlic." And she's like, "All right, calm down." So then they go into her room and they're like, "There's no snails. There's no snails anywhere." And the teacher is just like, "Yeah, you're going crazy. I don't know, you know." And so Snail Girl cuts to later on. She's still looking around, looking for snails. And then Shane, we do see one snail.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here is where things get interesting. If I can just peel back the curtain of the bin for a bit. Originally for tonight, I wanted to do 1980s Rhinestone, featuring Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton.
Yes.
Doing country singing. But we couldn't find it streaming online in an accessible way for all of us to see it, so we did
But
Enigma.
DeVito has smiled upon us.
Yes.
Yeah, the only way to get the movie is to pay like $40 for a DVD on Amazon. It's like, what
Which
the
I
fuck?
did. I have it on VHS and DVD.
I hear it's a classic.
I love it.
But Shane, you still got Stallone in the bin.
Still got my Drinkenstein.
Because there's just one snail, and it's crawling on Stallone's shoulder from a Rocky poster.
Yes.
And I'm like, what college-age girl would have a picture of Stallone from Rocky on her wall? It just seems very weird to me. It's like, okay, that's an odd choice. So then we're going night outside the school, right? And the girls are... it's outside the school. The girls are filing into the school because the whole movie pretty much only has 3 locations. It's like school, hospital, or like we're going to dress the school up like a museum, but it's still clearly the same building. And Snail Girl is asleep, guys, and she's covered in snails. And this is when I wanted to fast forward this movie so fucking bad.
This is great. I love it.
Now, is snail erotica some sort of fetish or...
I think it's adjacent to tentacle porn because this definitely seems like Fulci had ideas. Another thing, this is classic Fulci. The Beyond, we had tarantulas. Manhattan Baby, we have zombie birds. And here we got snails. Everyone's always getting covered in some animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this girl is covered naked in snails, and we're watching snails like crawl around her body parts.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
And there's a rock guitar in the background.
Yeah.
Like, this scene slaps.
It is a challenging watch, especially when the snails start going into her mouth. And at
over
one point
her eyes.
Yes, at one point she bites the snail.
She's got like a rubber slug in her mouth. Like, one is fake, but eventually like the real ones get to like covering her mouth.
Well, that was fucking craft services right there.
It's from the lunchroom.
Yeah, the French crew was real excited. Their mouths are salivating for what he calls cut.
Break for lunch, please. Break for lunch. We cannot wait longer.
These are the loudest snails in existence. They're like squelching and slurping.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's
and
so
the other
loud.
thing too, it's so bad. It's a horrible scene. But I just kept writing, "Get up." It's not like snails are notoriously heavy. Just stand the fuck up. Because
Yeah, but
she's
she
just like,
kinda likes
I'm trapped in the bed, or am I?
Is it one of those fear responses though, where you just can't move? You're so afraid.
Maybe she's
give
kind of
that
into
benefit
it.
of the
Maybe she's
doubt. Like, give it to Fulci.
I'm so afraid I'm gonna bite a snail as it crawls in my mouth. They don't establish anything. It's not like she's chained to the bed. She just lays there and apparently lets the snail suffocate her.
I think she's just into it. It's the suffocation. It's the slimy snails. I think it's just a fetish. She wants to see where she's going.
Man. Yeah.
Now, wouldn't you have loved it, though, if the cop showed back up and the next day they're like, there's all these snails covering this girl, and they're like, well, what do you think happened? He goes, heart attack. Boom, heart attack. Afraid of snails. These snail kids, I'll tell you, they cover themselves with the things, they go too far, boom, heart attack. Seen it a million times. You ever been to France? So then she basically dies. The next day, Eva's standing really strange in the hallway, and then somebody's like, hey, Eva, why are you weird? Let's go to dinner. And that's when this girl walks into Snail Girl's room and they found her, but nobody found her until dinner?
They thought she was eating dinner.
Oh, yeah.
You got takeout.
Yeah.
Do you think at some point some girl, like her roommate, walked in the room and saw all the snails on her? She goes, oh, I'll come back. Don't want to bother that.
Yeah.
I wish we had got the garlic death.
That's a tough thing in France. To get the what test?
The garlic death. We needed to complete that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The tough thing
some
in
girl
France.
just covered in garlic.
Yeah.
Terrified of garlic.
God, man.
It's like a giant garlic masher or whatever that is.
Yeah, it gets cut up, and she cries so much she dehydrates herself, and it mummifies her. It's all comes full circle.
So then, that's when over at the hospital, the doctor and nurse are like, I don't know what happened, but something about how she died because of snails. It's really weird. And they're like, it's kind of weird that there was 2 deaths in 2 days over at that school, and they were under very strange circumstances. And they're like, it's also weird that Kathy Coma always has some sort of mental orgasm every time somebody dies at the school.
Mm-hmm.
The sheets are wet every time I come back.
Well, they didn't look under the hospital bed sheets to see snails down there.
No. And they go, I don't think any of it's connected, though.
No.
Move on. We just cut to a scene of, like, Eva just going wild. She just starts, like, taking a shirt and just throwing shit around, and she's breaking
doing
lamps.
Doing, like, the AOC dance all over the room.
Yeah.
I'd vote for Eva.
Yeah. She takes out the entire room, and Jenny's on the floor screaming. She's like, stop it, you're scaring me. What the fuck are you doing? And she says, and then she gets on the bed, and she's like having a seizure and everything, and Jenny runs out of the room to get help. And then I love this as we cut to the doctor. Dr. D's on the phone, and the faculty lady's like, can you come to school? He's like, no, I can't leave the hospital because I'm the only doctor here. And like, really? Because we really need you. And he's like, no, I can't leave. Cut to Dr. D come to the school anyways.
This is the crazy thing. He says specifically, I'm the only neurologist here. We've seen him doing surgery. He says he's a neurologist, and he also does like therapy as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think in Italy, if you have a doctorate, you can do any type of medicine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're good for anything, Shane.
Yeah.
If you have a high school diploma, they say, yeah.
So, like, I'm sorry, but they need a neurologist nightly at the hospital? Like, people run in, they go, where's the neurologist? Does anybody know a neurologist? Like, this is just an every night thing?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Damn dozen over there.
And so that's when the guy goes, well, I'm a psychologist, but it's close enough, right? I still kind of study the head.
He's a gynecologist, too.
Yeah, I study the bottom, but I think I can figure out the top. It's kind of the same. We're all the same on the inside.
It's all red inside there. We're good.
I just love the idea of like somebody going, "No, I can't go there. I really can't." Cut to the next scene. They're there anyways. Why do?
Yeah.
Once he heard which school it was, he's like, "Oh, on my way."
Nope. So then he rushes to the school, and everybody's all worried about Eva, and he goes in her room and checks on her, and that's when you get a shot of Kathy Coma laughing to herself mentally because she can't move her lips, and that's Eva's like passed on her bed, and Dr. D just randomly injects her with something, and she wakes up. And the first thing she does is grabs his head and makes out with him. And Dr. D doesn't, like, really resist. He just kind of is like, oh, okay. And then afterwards he's like, that was a little weird. And she's like, oh, thank you for saving me. And he's like, well, that's kind of my job. And she's like, oh. And he says something like, something about how it's really weird that there's a bunch of dead bodies. And I think Eva says the line, there will be others?
No, he says something about, like, something about, like, having a good night. And then she said there'll be others, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I thought she said something about... He said something about, man, it's strange about those bodies, huh? There will be others. Oh, okay. And so then the school lady comes in and she's like, okay, what the hell's going on in here? And the doctor's like, all right, I can go. And then she asks Eva, she basically is like, Eva, are you okay? And I'm like, you knew she had a mental breakdown and then you let her into the school. I mean, this is not a surprise, right? I mean, you knew her history.
Yeah.
I mean, the parents paid.
Yeah.
They did that. They did the Felicity Huffman thing. They're not checking.
Yeah, they're like, it's Larry Bird's daughter. Shut up. Do you know how many fucking points he scored last season? Shut the fuck up.
She's going to put this place on the fucking map.
And so then the doctor walks into his car. Like, the Dr. D is walking to his car, right? And he turns around and Eva's just waiting outside for him. And he's like, oh, hi there. And she's like, hey, I want that D. And he's like, yeah, I don't think it's really appropriate for me to, like, have sex with my patients. And she just kind of gets in the car and she's like, well, too late. And it's almost like he just gives in. He's like, well, she's in the car, so I better just go with it, I guess. And so then they just drive away, right? Now they're a couple, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
We cut to a shot of Dr. D and Ava making out, and then he drops her off at school, which is very creepy. And then this is maybe my favorite scene in the entire movie. Dr. D pulls up to the school, and he looks at this girl, and her name is Grace, okay? Mm. And they kind of just exchange a glance, and Eva goes, do you find her attractive? And he goes, no, she's all right. And this is it. This is my favorite line in the whole movie, is that Eva goes, her name is Grace. She was voted bitchiest girl in the class last year.
I want to see that yearbook.
Yeah, I was like, okay, number one, is that an official award? Number two, was there ballot voting?
Ballot voting.
3, Shane, yes, was that in the yearbook? That's not brushed off, is that Dr. D goes, well, how do you know that, considering it's your first year at the school? And then she goes on to say how Grace apparently tells everyone that she won the bitchiest girl award.
She was the homecoming bitch.
Her parents were so fucking proud, dude.
Yeah.
She's okay. She's pretty.
Her name is Grace. She was voted bitchiest girl of her class last year.
How do you know that? I thought this was her first year here.
There are no secrets in this school, believe me. And she tells everybody. If you want, I can introduce her to you, and then she can tell you.
Why would I be interested in the bitchiest girl of her class when I have the most attractive girl of all time right here beside me?
I just love the idea of Grace introducing herself. Hi, I'm Grace. I won bitchiest girl last year. Yes, that's me. You might have seen my picture. Yes, I know. I'm very proud about it. I'm going for it this year. And I feel like at this point, Eva goes, you know what? I'm going to win bitchiest girl this year.
Is there like a valedictorian of bitches?
I think so. And Eva's really going for it, man, because she, as we'll see.
I think they called it valedictorian.
Mr. Fulci, I think you misspelled this part.
No.
No.
No. Well, Eva goes, well, maybe you'd like me to introduce you to her. And Dr. D goes, why would I be interested in the bitchiest girl in class when I have the most attractive girl in my car? Smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth Dr. D.
Got her. The dapper doc.
Got her.
Yeah.
Oh. So then he leaves, and Eva goes to talk to Grace the bitch. And then Grace walks off, and I write, in a very bitchy way. So she's like true to character. She kind of does a little like, and then walks off. And so then Grace walks through the halls of... Okay, apparently, we didn't get this set up, but they're apparently in a museum now, but it's just the school. It's the same fucking building. It's just they put sheets over stuff to be like, look, it's museum now.
Anytime they look like a painting, it has to cut away.
Yes.
You never see them with the art.
No. Except for like maybe a statue.
Mm.
For no reason at all, Grace starts walking through the halls of this museum that's actually the school, and then she all of a sudden decides that she's in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Because she just goes, I'm scared. And then she's acting weird for no reason. And then Eva goes, hey, come back to the horror movie. And I don't mean horror. I mean... She's like, oh, yeah, you're right. I was in the wrong movie. So then we go to that's when we see that they were on a field trip to a museum, and they're in a van. And, Eva, that's what I'm saying. She's early running for bitchiest girl in the class because she's smoking in the van now and everything. She's a real bad girl. And I'd like to add that she's smoking in the van instead of smoking outside of it just to be a real jerk, just so it lingers in the van.
Yeah.
It's almost like the rest of the class is going to come in. They go, oh, my God, did somebody smoke in the van? It smells horrible in here. And Eva goes, yeah, it's me. Get your ballots ready, girls. And so then they're going to the museum. Well, they did go to the museum. Apparently, Grace lost her earrings. And man, are those earrings important, right? Because she's like on and on about how her mom's going to kill her if she doesn't find the earrings. And
I thought this was going to be a setup shot for a shocking moment where the mom just kills her own daughter. Like, you fucking lost what?
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah.
But no, we find out that Eva took it for herself. So, guys, she's, again, in the running for bitchiest girl in the class. She is, man. She heard about the award and she's going for it. She's going to make a splash her first semester. So now Grace is looking around the museum with Eva or something, and they're like looking for her earring at night because you can just apparently break into an Italian museum in the middle of the night, Just check around. Yeah, just go ahead. Just go in there, check the statue of David or something, just look around. Don't touch anything or do. I don't care. Go see if you can find your earring. And so then this painting starts bleeding, and it's like, and then it drops a severed hand.
I was like, dude, fucking, if Ghostbusters 2 is this good, fuck.
It is. Oh my God, Chris, it is just fucking Ghostbusters 2.
The bleeding baby in the painting is such a solid touch.
It's good.
So no, that's what this movie needed, is the Ghostbusters 2 art guy,
She is Eva.
Michelangelo
Princess of
David sucks one of
Darkness.
them off.
What was that?
He said the ghost Michelangelo David sucks somebody off.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh
yes.
God, that scene was in Ghostbusters 2, but they made him cut it out. They're like,
this is a family film now.
We let you get away with it in number 1, okay?
Yeah, and Shane,
this time it's a bit too artsy for the crowd.
It's too interpretive.
Mr. Aykroyd. What'd you guys think of that note, page 57, where the Michael sucks somebody off?
Well, it's going to be hard being that he's made out of, stone, so it's kind of uncomfortable.
You don't want to see what he had planned for the Mona Lisa.
Oh, no.
Mr. Aykroyd, why don't we just leave it to a family film this time, huh? We're going for a PG.
But we can call it the Moaning Lisa, if you know what I mean.
This is a post-short round world, Mr. Aykroyd. So.
This is why we had to get the men out of Ghostbusters.
You think that was out Ghostbusters 3?
That was the decision. It's like, you know what? All the drafts for Ghostbusters 3 involve them getting sucked off in various ways. So.
Yeah, they're like, Mr. Aykroyd, does every Ghostbusters need to have a scene like that?
Ernie Hudson
all individually?
Yeah, Ernie Hudson showed up to set with nothing but a t-shirt.
There had to be something where there was like a Slimer with boobs. And that's when they're like, no, we can't do it. We just
Slimer boob job.
They're like, all right. That's why Bill Murray wouldn't do it. He's like, you know what? I'll do a goddamn Garfield sequel before I'll do this Slimer with boobs movie.
Yeah, because I was telling Mike about this. There's evidence that they try to work in the Aykroyd blowjob scene, even in the end credit scene, where Dan Aykroyd brings flowers and wine back to the room where he had the encounter with the woman, and that was like the end credit stinger.
No, Bill, please read this draft. In this draft, you get sucked up by the Mona Lisa.
There's a new ghost called Slimer.
Bill Murray just shuts his door quietly.
You hear the fucking deadbolt go over?
Yeah, I got the fucking crystal skull. Dan, it's fine.
He sends a bottle of Crystal Skull with every script to get him loosened up. That's how he gets the yes out of him.
Although he keeps sending Crystal Skulls with a hollow mouth. It's really weird, man. And so here goes.
Now I know what I want for my birthday.
Yeah, the bottle is Crystal Skull, but it's not filled with vodka. It's filled with KY. So,
Moving on.
Something about Enigma?
Now, how do we know that this is a museum? Because we can't afford to have art, so we just cover a bunch of shit in sheets. And I was like, do you think that's how they shut down the Louvre for the night? They just throw a sheet over the Mona Lisa and call it a night?
Throw painter sheets over everything.
Well, Mr. David, it's time for bed.
Lights out.
They have just one big triangular sheet for the Louvre. You've never seen Paris at night?
It gets flowing in.
Yeah.
Fucking 4 helicopters have to lower it.
Gently place it over.
The Louvre is closed. Everybody get out. We're dropping the sheet. So, yeah, to cover for the fact that they couldn't do an actual museum, they just put sheets on tables. It looks like a fucking morgue. And this is the best thing is, I'm like, so that's what they do? They cover the sheets with priceless art. Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. Not only did they replace the priceless art with sheets, they also just put skeletons in the room.
Yeah, they couldn't find enough PAs to sit in.
Because at one part of the movie, just the sheet falls off and there's skeletons everywhere. And I'm like, what
just piles
the
of
hell?
bones.
So you think like some art thieves break into the Louvre and they're like, we're going to get the Mona Lisa tonight. And they uncover the sheet and it's just a skeleton.
Like, damn it, not again.
Jesus. And so then Grace, she sees that Kathy's head is being held by a statue.
Yeah, it's Perseus holding Kathy's head.
Yeah, and then there's a big snake crawling around. And I write, just go home, Grace.
Yeah,
Just
it's not
go
even
home.
a venomous snake.
No, that's the guard. They're like, just put a snake around there. Everybody's afraid of snakes, you know. If Indiana Jones breaks into here, he's going home.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Grace stops to look at the statue. As I write, I think this is a statue of Rocky. Like, I think they made a statue of Stallone and Rocky.
Yeah,
because that's what it looks like, right? Like, he's in the Rocky pose. It's like the cover of the movie. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, Kathy Coma does her orgasm mind wave, and the statue of Rocky comes alive and strangles Grace. And I can almost hear Eye of the Tiger playing as this is going down.
Oh, the
and
fucking
then,
Eye of the Tiger project
Listen,
is coming in the
Italian
works.
Yeah. And then, okay, it cuts to the nurse looking at Coma Kathy being like, should I tell the doctor about the orgasm mind thing going on again?
She sees the murder in her eyes.
Yeah, she can see the murder happening, and then she's like, I don't think that's related, though. What do you think so? Because the next thing is like the medical team just kind of standing there like, this is a weird one. This is like a real Ghostbusters 2 type of thing or something. And then I just write in my notes, I go, just pull the plug. I mean, nobody likes her anyways. Just pull the plug.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody was walking around the hospital going like, does anybody know why it smells like fucking garlic?
Her personal effects are just snails anyway.
Yeah.
Just a box full of snails.
That's all she had in her pockets.
That's all we found in the packets.
Yeah, and the Febreze IV drip.
Yeah, the car crash was just a poor girl in a coma and snails all over the road.
Oh. Couple cloves of garlic, too.
Yeah. It's a real mess, man.
It
So
is.
then somebody just walks up and goes, smells like New Orleans here. What the fuck? So then Eva's meeting up with the faculty, and they're all wondering, they're like, Eva, how come it is that every time you hang out with somebody, they end up dead? And she's like, I don't know. That's kind of weird, though, right? And they're like, do you think this has anything to do with the mental illness thing that she had, and, like, maybe it's a problem? And they're like, no, she's Larry Bird's kid, so we should probably just dust this under the rug and just forget about it.
And
that's what happens.
Shut up and take the check.
Yeah. Shut up and take the basketball. He just bounces up a basketball full of money.
Exactly. It's full of quarters.
That
was the big. You don't remember that big NBA scandal where the ball wouldn't bounce because it was full of money?
Yeah, when Larry Bird brought the wrong ball to the game.
Whoops.
It shattered through the backboard.
Oh shit! Yeah, Game 7 of the finals, man. What a fucking game that was.
Yeah.
So then Eva walks down the stairs of the school holding a rosary, and just to remind the audience, she goes, "I'm a good girl. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts." Cut to, oh my God, Kathy Coma's having those feelings again, guys. And Eva snaps into killer mode. And so that's when she comes in her room, and then immediately she walks up to Jenny. And this is the person, I feel so bad for Jenny in this movie.
Yeah.
Because
everyone's out for her.
Eva just runs into the room, and she's like, "Jenny, you bitch." I'm like, whoa.
I know, right? Damn.
And
You
that's
used my fucking last diaphragm. You're gonna fucking die, Jenny.
And Jenny's like, what did I do? Why are you so mean to me, Eva? And she's like, "You fucking bitch." And Eva just doesn't even say anything. It just leaves the room. And Jenny's like, man, she is really in the top running for bitchiest girl in the class. Now that Grace is dead, I think there's no competition.
Oh, yeah. Jenny nominates her.
You know, she's up by 40, but she's still going to fucking shoot those threes, man. She's Larry Bird's kid.
That's right.
So then that's when the faculty ladies, she comes over and she tells the doctor, she's like, Eva's from one of the best families in Boston. She needs to be under the care of a doctor because we really need the money for her to go to this school. And he's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. This is what you're saying, Shane. Apparently, not only is he a neurologist, he's also a psychologist.
Yeah. Oh, and did you notice his sweater in this scene? It just says university.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to UU.
Yeah, UU. He's also in Boston.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so then, that's when he's like, so, I'm kind of new at this whole psychology thing, but apparently, let's just break it down. So, you had some mental problems. And Eva's like, well, I don't really want to talk about that. I want to make out. And he's like, okay.
This is covered by insurance, right? I don't have to pay out of pocket for this?
Yeah.
I think you need some vitamin D, my dear.
Yeah.
And this part, so Dr. D's at the hospital, and he's just staring at Kathy Coma. Because, like, when he likes to think about things, he likes to just go stand in the room and stare at Kathy Coma. And then another doctor comes in, and he goes, hey, is your crazy lover coming by to visit tonight? And he goes, you know, there's something wrong with that girl. She says she's from Boston, but she doesn't know any of the names of the rivers that run through the town.
Just like quizzed her, naturally.
Okay. Is Boston famous for the rivers or something? I've
No,
never been there.
no,
But...
no, fuck no. Yeah, Boston, also known as Rivertown.
Right.
You know, the Boston rivers, yeah.
The Damon, the Affleck.
No, you know, Shane, I know that Pittsburgh's known for bridges, right?
Bridges and rivers, actually.
But Boston's not known for rivers?
No.
I've never been, so I don't know. You know?
I've been. I was like there for like a Boston Tea Party thing when I was a kid. And like we were on the boats, but like that's in like a harbor.
Oh, were you like a Highlander?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus, Shane, you've outed yourself. Goddamn.
No, we were on this reenactment. There's like pictures of me with these.
Okay, hold on. Please tell me.
Yeah, we're gonna have to break this shit.
Were you with like a loincloth and like headdress and?
Why would I be wearing a
loincloth?
What are you talking about?
How long ago do you think the Boston Tea Party was?
I don't think the Native Americans played a part in that.
Because I saw a movie where there's some Native Americans at the Boston Tea Party.
Oh my God, Shane, you played the Native American side of the Boston Tea Party?
I think it was like a Mel Brooks film or
I was
something.
Squanto in the Boston Tea Party.
So you went on a boat in a reenactment of the Boston Tea Party. Did you get to throw a crate of tea off the side, or were they like, no, sir, don't throw that. Oh, God damn it, he threw the tea. God damn it.
I lifted a crate of tea. There's a picture of me lifting a crate somewhere when I was like 7.
See, Shane, what do you think about taxes?
Yeah, the libertarians really came out that night.
Full force.
Yes. Let's talk about the age of consent.
Blood was boiling.
Was there anybody that was chucking the boxes into the harbor even though they were told not to?
It was so long ago, and I was too short to see over the edge. I just remember there were ladies in like 1800s garb, and they had loincloths. Teepees. We're doing rain dances.
I really like Chris's reenactment of the Mel Gibson version of the Boston Tea Party, where everybody's wearing loincloths.
Yeah,
that's right.
And they're handing out blankets, huh?
Regrettably, there are some old photos that I hope don't resurface later, where I'm in I had to darken my skin. It was like,
Yeah.
I regret it. I'm just hoping when I run for office.
It's for history, Shane. It's for history.
Right. It was captioned Shane Redcorn, right?
So no, apparently she doesn't know any of the rivers, which we all know the names of. All right, and Shane's going to tell us right now. Shane, go.
Rivers Cuomo.
Rivers Phoenix.
No. Yeah, I got it. Like you said, the Affleck, the Bird,
the Mark Maron,
the Beans, the Boston Beans, right?
Yeah, the baked bean, the
Boston Baked Bean River, the BBB,
the BBB,
BBBR,
Bush's baked beans.
How do you live in Boston? You don't even know the fucking names of the rivers. There's something wrong with this girl.
Yeah.
And I go, well, that's because she's from Boston, Italy, man. Not Boston, fucking Massachusetts. So then Dr. D's starting to think, he's like, I'm starting to think that Eva might be a different person. And the other doctor's like, that checks out, man. Like, maybe she, like, did some sort of Ghostbusters 2 type of thing. Mm-hmm. She, like, became some, I don't know. I haven't watched that movie. It was really bad. Is that what happened in that movie? Like some guy, who knows? So then a very, very weird sex scene is what we got to next, right?
Yes. Oh God.
So, woo.
Oh God, yeah. This is gonna get you going. Grab your girl tight because Dr. D and Eva are having sex. We get a view from above. There's like these. It's like Suspiria lighting. It's all like red and green, and like dim.
I'm sure that's how he pitched it. He goes, like Suspiria, but sexy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but she's older, right?
They originally wanted Jessica Harper, but nah. So they're doing it, and she starts biting the doctor's nipples off.
At first she scratches them, and it goes for... Man, she's going all the way.
Yep.
Like, she goes past skin.
Mm-hmm. She bites his nipples off, then she, like, kisses him, and I was wondering if she puts the nipples in his mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, like that was the first thought that came to mind.
Yeah.
But he wakes up and it was all just a very wet, bloody dream.
Yeah. That apparently he had... Okay, this is where it gets any weirder. He had that wet, bloody dream in his office where he sleeps on a cot because they clearly couldn't afford to have an apartment set.
Or he's having a fight with his wife.
And this is when we find out that he just watches Coma TV all day. So he has a TV in his office facing the bed where he watches 24/7 Kathy Coma having a coma in her room.
Mm-hmm.
That's the newest thing. Like my grandma's in a coma, so like I have a Twitch channel for her. Everyone loves it.
Oh my God.
Go twitch.tv/grandmama. Donate some bits. Cheers.
Wow. I'm like, I'm going to send you something to save face from something I mentioned earlier.
Oh, this is absolutely amazing, though. Is that? Oh my God! Here it goes. Chris is now sending me links to prove that he wasn't wrong about somebody in a loincloth at the Boston
and headdress, dresses Native Americans.
Chris, I don't know who the Sons of Liberty are, but it sounds like some sort of incel gang.
Sounds like a biker gang. Oh wait! I do remember getting a feather.
See?
Oh, okay.
I was given a feather. I was wearing a feather. Just one.
Because they disguised their
racist.
identities by dressing as Native Americans.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
That's what they did at the Boston Party.
Oh, boy.
Bam! Chris on top.
Chris is batting 100. Mike, you're doubting him, and he's really pulling out here.
Well, I liked how you said he wasn't batting 1,000. He's batting 100. He's clearly batting 100.
Still in the minors.
We don't want to get too carried away.
That's right. I'm still grounding out once in a while.
He's batting 100. He's shooting 20%.
The whole 3 yards.
Yeah. He's double bogeying it. Chris Mann. So no, Dr. D's at the school, right, after he's turned off Kathy Coma TV for the night. And then Jenny comes in to talk to him. She goes, oh, hey, didn't you know that off-screen Eva was taken away from this school from her mother? And I write, no. Nobody knew that. What the fuck, Fulci? A major plot point just happened off-screen. Is that apparently Eva's just taken away from the school by her mother? By Mrs. Bird? And just, we never hear about this until right now when they go, oh yeah, she gone.
Yeah.
And he's like, huh, that's weird. Oh well, you want to go on a date?
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't waste any time.
No. That's when Dr. D and Jenny start their on-screen romance, and here's the greatest part. is that Eva is now sitting in a mental institution, like outside of it, and she's writing a letter to Dr. D, and this is very Demon Cop, where she's writing a letter, and she's reading it in the Demon Cop voice, as she goes, I'm in some fancy rest home. And I write, yeah, rest home. That's what her parents called it. No, it's a rest home. It's not really a mental institution. It's like you expect to see fucking Gene Kelly in one of these rooms.
God.
Is there a motorcycle going towards the door?
Yeah, Evil's breaking somebody out, man. I write, this looks like the building from Cure for Wellness. Like, it's crazy home.
And I can hear Dane DeHaan screaming.
And she's going like, Dr. D, I love you so much. You'll be my only one. And then while she's reading this off, we just see dates between Dr. D and Jenny. Like, they're going to the movies. Now they're making out. Now it's getting serious, right? So he's moved on, clearly, in the first day. I assume this is all one day.
Yeah.
Because
there's really no way to tell the difference of time passage other than night, getting it on, and scene.
Chris, to be honest, I think this whole movie takes place in 3 days.
And
I'm not kidding. Because at one point they go, yeah, it's really weird that 2 people died in 2 days. It's very quick, man.
It is like the Trinity. It's
and so then he's dating, Dr. D is dating dating Jetty now. Yeah. And we hear, all the reading of the letter while this is going on. And then we cut to Kathy Koma, and she is pissed, guys.
Yep.
Then you know what? Eva's already back at the school. So I write, why even have her leave? Just have her, be out. And Dr. D's like, oh, well, why don't we go on a date, Jenny? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of having Mrs. Bird come and take her out of school off screen?
I was hoping during the date montage they would go to a bar and it would be like Cheers, but like the Italian version.
Yeah, Italian Norm.
Yeah.
Everybody's name just ends in a vowel. Yeah. Normo. Ted Danzo.
Ted Danza, come on.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. He's already there. Yeah. So then we cut to Eva's creeping around the school, and then Crazy Mary's wandering around the school cleaning in the dark again. They won't let her turn on the lights to clean the floor. She has to clean it in the dark. And she starts hearing voices. I go, it must be Friday night again. Demon's having another kegger. But then Crazy Mary comes to see Eva's standing in the room. And then Crazy Mary comes up, she grabs Eva's hand, and she kisses it. And she knows that Eva's been inhabited by Kathy Koma because Crazy Mary, like everybody else, has watched the first scene of this movie. Where we clearly see it's the same person.
Actually, she just smelled the garlic.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I haven't smelled that smell in so long. And as a snail crawls out of their pockets. Mm-hmm. So then Eva looks out the window to see Kathy's old roommate who laughed at her before she died. And she's sneaking in the room with her boyfriend, Tom. So then we cut to Dr. D hanging out with Jenny at his office, and he's like, so this is my TV where I watch Kathy Koma. And I'm like, why would you show that?
Oh, my God.
And it's horrifying. She's got this huge cut on her cheek.
It's by the way, it's not her whole body. It's a close-up of her face.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just close-up.
She's like, why are there wadded-up tissues and lotion next to your chair?
Chris, we'll get to the part when he looks down.
Yep.
And she leaves. So then, okay, here's the thing. They're in the office, and he's like, yeah, and I also sleep in here. Here's my cot. And Jenny kind of grabs him. She goes, how many nurses have you had on this cot? And he's like, well, she says, how many nurses or patients have you had on this cot? I was like,
none that remember.
And she goes, well, I'm not a nurse or a patient, but I want you to take me on this cot. And then they make out and they fall to the floor. And am I to understand that the cot disappeared, or that they just missed it?
I don't. It looks like it broke. It collapsed under their weight.
Oh, it's not a cot built for two.
Nope.
So then they both laughed like hee 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 hee. So then cut to the roommate, the jerk roommate. She's taking a shower and she's back in the room. She's like, oh hey Tom, how you doing? Oh, you're under the covers, huh? Oh, and she takes off the covers and Shane.
He is headless.
Yeah,
he's dead.
Headless Tom.
I wonder if it was a heart attack that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No shit. It was just mind-blowing sex.
Yes.
I've seen it all the time. These guys, the head falls off, boom, heart attack. Yeah. Okay. Coroner's got the easiest job in the world, man. Everybody in this town dies from a heart attack.
It's either a heart attack or there's body bags full of snails.
And so then the girl runs around screaming for a while, and she goes into multiple rooms, and they're all just the same room of Tom with his head off. It's just every room's got the same thing on, you know? But I did notice, Jane, did you see? Nice little label out Coke can.
Yes, I did. I was just about to say. Mr. Coke was a huge fan of the decapitation scene. He thought it was very good for the product.
Yeah. And Fulci's filming the movie goes, no, I know man not Coke. He loved this. Like, are you sure that the Coke people want this product in the movie? Are you sure they're going to be all right with this extreme violence, this sexy violence where a man loses his head during hot sex?
Oh, that reminds me of that story about how California Raisins, they sponsored to be in Back to the Future. And they're like, oh, they're probably going to have us in a part in the dance. But no, they put a California Raisin ad on the park bench that the homeless guy's sleeping on. And they're like, $20,000 got us that?
Well, and it was even worse that the homeless man woke up and went, ugh. Yeah. Not even I'd eat a raisin.
I honestly thought you were going to say that like it was on the dresser when Marty and his mom were like getting it on. Like California.
Oh, actually,
raisins, mother's favorite.
He was like packing a box of like what you thought was cigarettes with just raisins.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right, Chris. What happened was his mom started trying to kiss him, and she goes, oh, is that a... What's that in your pocket? And he goes, some California raisins. I love that. The California raisin people are like, we want kind of a Bona joke in the movie where our product would be placed. It's like maybe Marty's making out with his mom or something. Well, that's not in the script. No, maybe Marty's making out with his mom or something.
It's the alternative family approach.
Yeah, and she goes, what's that in your pocket? Is that a box of California raisins, or are you just happy to see me? And Marty goes, it's a box of delicious California raisins.
In season, might I add.
Then we cut to a UHF-style stop-motion cartoon where the raisins appear and sing a song while they have a sex scene. And Zemeckis is just going like, well...
If the check's there.
Sure. And that's why it didn't get in the movie, because the check didn't come through.
Nope.
So that's why they put it on the park bench.
But they still kept that plot line.
Yeah.
Zemeckis is like, you know what? Fuck those raisin people.
Yeah,
but I do like this thing about the son and the mom.
Yeah.
Let's keep that. Eric Stoltz was all for it.
Yeah.
Can I wear my mask?
Maybe that was it. They wanted Stoltz so bad, and then when they found out he got cut from the movie, they're like, well, you know what? We're taking our money away, too.
The mask, it kind of looked like a raisin. We wanted that guy.
Oh, God.
We've always wanted to see that Stoltz, Leah Thompson incestuous sex. The California Raisin Board's really weird, guys.
Yeah.
California, man. Say no more.
Oh, man. And don't even get me started on the avocado people. You have no idea. There's a reason you never see those in movies, guys. So now we get that nice label out Coke can
Martian
next
testicles.
to a decapitated head, right?
Yeah.
It would have been great if she took a big swig of the Coke. Fulci goes, no, you're really scared, but then you take a sip of Coke and you go, oh, it's refreshing. I feel okay now.
Oh, better.
But instead, this is amazing. So, Chris, I know you clearly watched the movie because for no reason at all, the roommate gets in a windowsill and looks over, and what does she see, Chris?
She sees Tom Cruise in the poster. And now Tom Cruise is now going to fade out and fade in.
Okay, please explain what picture of Tom Cruise, because it's very striking that they chose this one.
Is it him like giving like a fucking hang loose sign or some shit?
No,
Or, like,
it's Tom Cruise from
he's like
Top Gun.
Yeah, he's in Top Gun.
He's
yeah,
doing
he's
the thumbs
in the
up.
jet. Yeah, he's in the jet looking over. And I'm like, and the top left of the poster just says in plain like Arial font Tom Cruise. It doesn't say Top Gun. It's just like the weirdest like candid shot, and you just give him a thumbs up and Tom Cruise. But every girl would love to have this poster.
How much do you want to bet they put that scene in the trailer?
Oh, dude.
They're like, Tom Cruise featuring Tom.
He was top billed in the Italian version.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason you go on the IMDb and Stallone and Cruise are credited for this movie.
Yeah.
And
In order of appearance.
Snoopy is too.
And I mean, we're not talking cocktail Tom Cruise. We're not talking risky business Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
We're talking Tom Cruise and Top Gun giving the fucking thumbs up from the poster.
Yeah.
As he fades in and out on a picture of Kathy Kopa.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kathy's got like this weird down lighting on her, so she looks more, zombie-like. And she almost looks like Michael Jackson in Thriller at this point because the face is all green. The red is very Jackson.
Were you guys also kind of disappointed that she wasn't doing the Tom Cruise thumbs up? Because I was really hoping that she would pose just like him.
Yeah.
And it would do like the cut between.
I was hoping she had the jacket.
Yeah.
And you hear Take My Breath Away start playing.
No, dude, fucking Playing with the Boys.
Yeah, so Playing with the Boys starts up as the roommate jumps out of the window in fear. She just kills herself for no reason.
Yeah.
She goes, not Tom Cruise, and then falls out the window.
And a volleyball lands next to her head.
And so later that night, Tom wakes up and he walks around. He's like, hey, girlfriend. Hey, oh, whoops. He finds that she's fallen out the window. And then Shane, what happens to poor Tom?
Well, what always happens when you're not careful at a window, the windowsill comes down and cuts his neck, cuts through his head, cuts it clean off.
But the thing is, like, the windowsill is like that of a prison. It's like a metal. It's like some sort of storage locker. It is like a metal sheet comes down, like it's locked down.
Yeah, we have Mike. We pass the LA prison all the time in LA, and you just see any time of day just heads rolling out that window, like every 5 minutes. Man, they can't fucking get those windows right.
We told you not to put it out.
Yeah. Yeah, why do you think there's so much traffic, man? Just rolling into traffic.
I can't tell you how many times a head rolled on the freeway.
Yeah.
It's the fucking worst, man.
Fuck, dude. Fucking taxpayer money for this shit.
So later, now we go to Dr. D and Jenny, and they're hanging out, and she's like, I don't really feel right about fucking in your office. And he's like, all right, we'll just hang out later. And he is sad, but then Chris, he kind of just looks down, and like a glow from the TV illuminates his pants, and then for some reason we look at the screen, and it's in subtitles, and there's just a bunch of question marks.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Like, what the fuck?
He couldn't spell the actress's name.
It's just
how did you pronounce it? Like, how is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, when you go to the hospital and you get hooked up to the machine and question marks pop up, I'm like, I'm changing my insurance company.
It was supposed to say Tom Cruise. What if it cut to a shot and it was Tom Cruise in the coma now?
Ooh, Ghostbusters 2.
Fuck
yeah.
So now Jenny's coming back to school after her late night rendezvous, and then she goes, you know what? I think I'm just going to go back to that same scene. And then she just goes back to the hospital. We watch a whole 5 minutes of her walking around the school, and then she goes, nah, I'm going to go back to the hospital. So then she goes back to the hospital, and we do see a shot of, like, Eva and Kathy being the same person, right? Yeah. So cutting between them, it's like, we get it. We get that they're the same. I don't know. Like, at this point, Fulci, we get it. You've clearly established this, like, 40 times in the movie.
Well, there's always going to be the one person that goes, oh.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? This is the part in the theater where you hear the one guy go, oh!
The collective ending gasp of The Sixth Sense by Shyamalan. The collective Shyamalan twist revealed of the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, like in the end of The Sixth Sense when somebody goes, oh, that's why!
You know, that's what happened to me. It was actually my mom spoiled it like 10 seconds before it was about to be revealed. She goes, oh, he's been dead the whole time. I'm like, wait, what? Huh?
Chris goes, what?
Yeah, it was like still a minute before the big punch. I'm like, how did you figure this is? I saw it coming. Like, I would rather have saw it coming myself and have it, like, you know, the moment had come and gone, though. So I'm like, huh, thanks.
My girlfriend hadn't seen it, and I was, like, hoping that, like, it would really get her. But then, like, she just guessed a minute to the end, and I was like, ah, damn it.
Right.
Oh, that's got to be horrible.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, like,
she read up. You know what? You must have accused her. You're like, you read up.
No, she really didn't. I was so surprised. Like, what the damn it? Date night's ruined. I got up. I was like, I'm not hard anymore.
Well, we know, Shane, that you're a massive Shyamalan fan. Because you kept calling Undefeatable Unbreakable.
Right. Stuart Little's my favorite Shyamalan, though.
Shyamalan's always on the brain for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You fall asleep every night to Lady in the Water, read to you by your brother.
Yes.
Oh, God. You know, I showed Kira for the first time. She had never seen The Ring. So we finally watched it, and you know, we were both. I was like, you know, this didn't hold up. She's like, you know what? You're probably right because it just didn't do it for me. I was like, wow, ouch! I paid $4 to rent this shit. Thanks.
And then she went home. She's like, I don't really feel like sleeping together on your cot tonight, Chris. I know they allow conjugal visits here, but I'm not really down.
As the TV turns on and the girl crawls out of a well.
Yeah, when you go, well, at least I got Coma TV. So
Yeah.
that's when we see. Okay, here we are. Is Jenny goes back to the hospital, and I love this. Is that for no reason at all? She starts sneaking through the hospital, like through this reception area. But the thing is that she's not sneaking. She's sneaking like a child would sneak. Is that she's in the middle of a giant room. She's the only person in it, and the receptionist guy is staring right at her as she just like goes duh 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 duh, and she's just sneaking around. He's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" And she's like, "Damn, he caught me."
Another thing, this is no hospital in America. Like, what hospital looks like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's what's so strange about it is this hospital also looks a lot like a museum or hell, like an all girls college.
Yeah.
It's just you throw the sheets in different places.
Yeah.
It's all on the sheets.
You've never seen a hospital with a mummy behind the reception desk?
In Cairo.
Yeah. How many times do you think in Egypt somebody brings a mummy in as a joke gag to the hospital? Oh my God, you got to help my grandpa. He's really dried out. Yeah. Very funny, Tut family. Very funny.
Put the Tutankhamons on the ban list, please.
The Tutankhamons are notorious pranksters.
They find out the royalty. They never let it go, man. They never let it go.
So she goes, "Well, I'm here to see Dr. D," and he gets her on the phone. He goes, "Well, he's not available. I just hear a lot of like clicking, and sounds like saliva sound going on. I don't know what he's doing in that room." And she's like, "Really? He's busy?" He's like, "Yeah, but you can go in anyways. I don't fucking care." And then so she just walks down dark halls like she forgot where she was in the hospital. She just decides to get lost in this hospital that refuses to turn on lights at night. And then she just starts hearing the demons. Apparently on Saturday nights they go party at the hospital because we just hear the same demon voices from the school. Although we all know this is the same building.
Yeah.
It's like a ghost hunting show. It's like this would just happen every day over at this building they filmed all 3 scenes at. And so the Dr. D... I read he must be hitting the Coma TV a little hard tonight because you could just hear a man going, "Ah! Ah!" And I write, imagine if she walked in on that, though. She opens the door and he's like, "Oh my God, I thought you weren't coming back. Oh, man, this is embarrassing."
I'm just that dedicated to my work.
So then Jenny just randomly runs into an elevator, and then she, is I right? I think she's on the set of Phantasm now.
Yes, exactly.
She just like... she walks into like the Phantasm set, and you almost expect one of the orbs to show up.
Well, remember we were at the museum and it looked like the school? Now it looks like we're in a museum. Everything's Marvel.
Yeah. You know what, Shane? Yeah, it's like they were in a fucking museum, and now... and everything looked like a school. Now it looks like a museum, and we're in a hospital.
I know. Fulci's like, "Oh, well, where's giant pinball? I want giant floating pinball."
Where's pinball? Yeah, he kept saying on the set, he's like, movie with pinball. Like, I don't think we speak the same language.
You talking about
was
the
that severed
wizard
hand
or...
earlier supposed to like turn into like that weird fly?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. I want tall man. Okay, I don't think he knows what he's talking about anymore. Yeah. This is Phantasm Academy. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yep.
Phantasm 6, Phantasm Academy. I've never heard it described that way, Chris. I really like that. Yeah, that movie where the pinball chases people. It's like you're in a big pinball machine, you know?
Yeah, that's what happens when you activate the tilt. Comes after you.
So you saw that new Phantasm movie? What'd you think? It was great, man. It was like, it's kind of like being in a pinball machine. So yeah, she's in the Phantasm set, and it's a morgue, and you half expect the tall man to show up, and there'd be like some portal to another dimension with the little things and hoods and everything. But no, right. Eva just shows up, and she goes, "I'm the bad guy," and she's like, "Well, yeah, I kind of guessed that, Eva." So did the rest of the audience. And she's like, "Did you also know I'm Kathy?" "Yeah, we all guessed it. It wasn't really a twist." And she's like, "Yeah, well, now I'm going to kill you." And she pulls out, is that right, the tiniest knife I've ever seen.
I think
otherwise
it's a scalpel.
known as a scalpel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, dude, you could like
Mr.
bring
Who
this
are
on
the
a
Sons
plane.
of Liberty.
Yeah. I think like she's covering most of the just the tip is showing.
Yeah.
So she's not really holding it good.
It does get longer when she starts trying to stab her with it. But you're right. Yeah, at first she just holds the tip. It's like, well, that's not intimidating at all.
No.
And then she tries to stab her, and then Dr. D just breaks into the room, and Eva stabs his arm in a real great classic Fulci, where it just rips up the arm in this great gore shot, right?
Yeah.
And then we just cut to Kathy Coma, and all of a sudden Eva just falls to the ground, and somebody's pulled the plug on Kathy Coma. And Shane, because you're such a Shyamalan fan, blow our fucking minds, buddy.
Oh, you know I loved this. The person who pulled the plug on Kathy was none other than her mother.
Dun, dun, dun.
And at this point, because of the Shyamalan twist, Rhino Hard.
Oh, yeah. This is where my notes... This is where my notes started sticking together. It's a good thing this was the end.
Crazy Mary has pulled the plug on her own daughter. And then the next thing is just Dr. D and Jenny. They look at Eva dead on the ground, and they're like, huh.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I got questions. One, where did Eva come from? Two, what about her family in Boston? Like, I'm sure the Bird family at this point is going to be really pissed off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I write, but seriously, though, what? Like, where did she come from? What? Is she a real lady? Because she couldn't be. If she just dies when Kathy Coma gets the plug pulled, right? It's like...
Maybe Kathy had, like... at this point, Kathy had, like, totally taken over her body.
Yeah.
And
is this like a Being John Malkovich thing, or...
Yeah. Did you guys see that new movie, The Prodigy?
No.
Don't. But it's kind of similar to that. If, like, you know, someone possesses you, then they can push you out. So if that person's gone, then there's nothing left.
Ah, so that must be what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they push her out, and Eva dies. The Bird family's going to be real cut up. Actually, they probably wouldn't care. They'd be like, well, she was a dunce anyways. She was kind of a bitch, man. She was going for the award, but I mean, at this point, it's like I don't think anybody at the school is going to miss her.
Do you think they give that award out posthumously though? Like
absolutely,
how Heath
they
Ledger
put it on
won?
her tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Heath Ledger won, bitch.
No. Yeah.
And the bitchiest actor goes to... Oh, I'm sorry, best actor. God damn, I don't know how we got those mixed up. This is a real Steve Harvey. You just see Steve Harvey get on the Academy Awards stage and they hand him a card that goes, and the bitchiest actor. All right, who did it? Who did it? You know, Steve Harvey was vindicated, though, when they gave the award to La La Land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know he was sitting at home going, finally, God damn it, yes!
Yeah. He's like, whoo! Wiping his brow. Off the hook.
Chris, you know, what's really funny is that, like, I was listening to an old Grindbin the other day, and apparently we recorded an episode the same night that happened, and we were having a great old time discussing that.
I forgot about that, yeah. Yeah. I never listened to that one, but I'm sure it was funny.
Yeah, yeah. You never heard it. Wait, have you heard any episodes?
So, the end of the movie, how does it go?
So it's a real Shining ending, guys, as we hear the song from the end of The Shining, as we pan out in the black and white picture of the all-girls school. And you just pan to the side, and there's Jack and the gang, and they're all at the Overlook, man, but Scatman's still got the axe in his back. So.
Well, before that, when we like pan out of the hospital back to the school, the miniature work, like, it's not done by, like, it's not actual camera work of the buildings. It's all miniatures. It looks great.
That I enjoyed.
Yeah. It actually was really good. Yeah. Really, really good. It was better than any shot in Ghostbusters 2.
Yes.
Agreed.
So we end with the Shining ending, and it's just the Overlook Hotel sponsored this all-girls school for the summer. And that's it. Credits over the picture.
That's all she wrote.
Recommendations? Shane, I know yours, but go ahead.
I 100% recommend this. If you love Fulci, then fuck you. If you do... Wait, no. Hold on, I got my joke wrong.
I was going to say, all right.
Start it again.
Start it over again, or
okay.
keep it in. It's like, if you don't love Fulci, fuck you. And if you do, which I know you do if you listen to this, then you're going to love Enigma. I think this is super underrated. I really can't believe more people don't talk about this. They need to watch this movie. It's on YouTube. It's on Amazon Prime. You can find it.
Chris?
Yeah, I think this is underappreciated. I enjoyed it. I especially love the soundtrack. Loved it.
Yes.
Every part of it. The score was great. I know there's actually online you can buy a CD with 3 movies. Italian movies, and this one is on it of 3 soundtracks in
Oh, a
on
CD?
one disc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I'm probably gonna get that just for this movie alone. But yeah, I recommend it. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, I think you went a different way, Chris. I was afraid.
Well, I said I feel like it was all right, but I can't say I don't recommend it. It was cool.
Guys, I'm gonna maybe surprise you here. Not only do I recommend this movie, but it is my favorite Fulci movie.
Oh wow!
Whoa.
This is so amazingly bad. It's good. Like I absolutely fucking love this movie. This is on a pieces level for me. This was fantastic. 1,000,000% recommend. Please watch this movie. Aenigma.
Wow.
For free on Amazon Prime right now. Or you can watch it on YouTube. Everybody can watch it. Please watch it. It is so goddamn bonkers. It's like late Fulci when he just decided that he wanted to make a comedy. Not really a comedy, but more like a sexy horror movie. It is a bizarre blend of genres that should never be met.
It's not sexy and it's not scary, but it's great.
No, but it's a real it's a real peanut butter and chocolate type scenario where you don't think it's going to work, and man, I need more sexy horror.
Yeah.
So, guys, you hear that sound?
Oh, I do.
How do you think Bobby and DeVito would fit in the world of Aenigma? I kind of ruined mine. I'll come up with another, but my original was that Bobby just wrote the screenplay for a class project, and he had help from the janitor.
Right.
Chris or Shane, what do you guys think?
Chris needs to start because I have something else to say.
Okay, I think Bobby and DeVito are hiding under those sheets at the museum. And
that's why it rose up?
Yeah, and they're waiting for the perfect moment the whole time. They know, Bobby, there's a girls' school nearby, and there's some freaky things, Bobby, going on.
They're not all skeletons, Bobby.
Bobby, I know if we lie here and just wait it out. And sure enough, jackpot happens.
They're horny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they go and start a new class, right?
Yeah.
The new class, okay? Because, man, that last year was real crazy, right? And guys, we got ourselves a new gym instructor.
Oh my God.
Mr. Hampton and Dean DeVito. Enigma 2.
Okay.
Malibu.
I'm fucking redoing mine. I'm gonna piggyback yours and do a continuation of yours. So Bobby's doing his workouts late at night. He's looking at it, and all of a sudden his starts.
He's looking at it.
It's looking at his reflection, and all of a sudden the mirror starts doing that cellophane thing, and he looks down and just bulging through the cellophane. And he goes,
and then a Slimer with boobs shows up.
Slime her.
And he goes, I wouldn't say no.
Oh God.
So Shane, you said you just quote have something different.
Well, no, I have something extra. So first off, DeVito tells Bobby about the wonderful, mysterious land of Euro Boston. He's like, Bobby, they got tons of horny college broads, sexy tennis players. Even the death won't stop them from going after you. So,
if anything, it turns them on more.
Exactly. More. So they van their way to Euro Boston, but Kathy's spirit still remains, and she's hungry for another poofy-haired lover. This time she possesses DeVito. Hey, Bobby, want to record one of our own 8 tracks?
Oh, God. I love it.
DeVito, why'd you get Slimer boobs?
Oh, my God, yes.
The other thing is that I noticed too many connections to pieces. We all remember Kendall, our poofy-haired protagonist. Mm-hmm. I think Dapper Doc, Dr. D, I think that's Kendall. After his unfortunate accident at the end of Pieces, he went to study medicine so that he could prepare himself down there.
Oh,
that's why he's going after college chicks to make up for what time he lost.
You're right.
Holy shit.
And that's, oh my God, it makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
The D didn't stand for deductible.
Well, guys, it's finally happened. Man has joined the bin with Shane. Shane, was it everything you hoped for?
Everything and more.
Good.
Finally got to meet both of my heroes. Big, long-time bin fan. I really love those early episodes.
Let's be careful with our words here. Hero is not the word to describe the Grindbin.
And don't use legend, because legend is something that may or may not be true.
Oh man, this was this had a real classic bin feel to it, guys.
Did.
This was great.
This is what happens when I'm not on for a month.
Yeah, exactly. We should just just leave all the time, Chris.
Yeah, I should just drop off the map once in a while, like I used to go on tour. I should just go on tour and just come back and be like, oh, I did a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just we tag in and we get gold. So.
Yeah.
So Shane, do you want anybody to find you or no?
No, there's nothing interesting about me. I don't know why.
Go ahead and give out Terry's Twitter handle.
Yeah, I'll give out Terry's Twitter handle, his email, Social Security. I'm looking around to see if I have it.
Social Security.
Just give us the last 4.
Date of birth, last 4.
Yeah. Date of birth,
his
last 4.
Mother's maiden name, street he grew up on, first pet.
Look, all we need
school.
is the month and the year, okay?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get Terry on next time. He'll explain himself.
Yeah, we got to get Terry on the show, though.
Yeah. He's like a background character.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You'll see why we kept him away soon.
Oh man.
Boy.
That's some tough talk.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to bring on Terry by himself so he can shit talk Shade the whole episode. So.
I will not have that. Hey, I'm still on the Patreon. He isn't. I'm not having him.
Oh yeah. Hey, fuck you, Terry.
Come on.
He won't even check it out. God.
Yeah.
So guys, thanks again for joining us. You can find us. Oh, Chris, you didn't have anything you wanted to promote, did you?
No, Introspect already played last month, so.
Yeah.
If you went, cool. If not, fuck you.
And so, guys, you can find us on grindhousefilm.com. We're Twitter at GrindPod, Instagram, The Grindbin Podcast, Facebook, The Grindbin Podcast, everything, everywhere where podcasts can be found. Please rate us 5 stars on iTunes if you enjoyed this show. Rate and review us. And if you want to listen to bonus episodes on our Patreon, $2 a month gets you almost weekly mini bins. I'm trying to get them up weekly, but goddamn, editing takes a while.
Bobby, where's the giant pinball?
Put on your makeup, your eyes are blue enough. Tonight is special for you. You're gonna see that dream come true. Put on your red dress, you gotta look your best. Tonight he's waiting for you. He's gonna make that dream come true. You've got that feeling deep inside. Loving the first time in your life. Falling head over heels, and you just can't stop. Falling into the arms of a lover. Falling head over heels, baby, from the top. And you hope it'll go on forever. Look in the mirror, it's a reflection you see. Tonight is special for you. You're gonna see that dream come true. It's now or never. You gotta make a move. Tonight he's waiting for you. He's gonna make that dream come true. You got that feeling deep inside. Loving the first time in your life. Falling head over heels, and you just can't stop. Falling into the arms of a lover. Falling head over heels, baby, from the top. And you hope it'll go on forever. Falling head over heels, and you just can't stop. Falling head over heels.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the team! But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
I said it, knocker. Boogie got no real rhythm. We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
How the hell
on, just step on the gas before we get creamed.
And more.